Hello, storytellers. Welcome to Storytelling Tarot. My name is Jeida Story, and I am so excited to have you here with me today. I'm back with another pick a card, and as you can see, there's nothing here on the table because I'm going to ask for you to just choose your intuition. We're going to do 3 chapters that you can choose from, and I'm actually going to keep it simple this time. I know it's been a minute since I've been here with a new video, and I am really just sitting in the energy of this year. We're in the year of the Hermit, a 9 year. And that has caused me to slow down a lot. So I've been slowing down on some of my content making, slowing down on some of the other things that I am used to doing at a really fast pace. And so, as a way to honor that, I'm going to do like a quick 1 card prediction for your month ahead. This is a timeless reading. So, whenever you get to this message, it's on time for you. And so I'm just grateful to be here to do this in a way that feels congruent with the capacity that I have. I'm excited to get into this reading. So go ahead and just in your mind, choose 1, 2, or 3, and trust that whatever number you hear or numbers you hear has what you need. All right, let's get started with chapter 1. Hey, chapter 1, welcome to your reading. So this is how we're going to do this. I'm only going to pull 2 cards. I'm going to practice restraint, and what I'm going to do is the first card that I pull is going to be what you experienced or what you may have experienced in the previous month. And then that will kind of just help you to know that this is the right chapter for you. And then from there, we will look at what's coming up for you in the month ahead. Okay. So these are your cards. So let's see what was going on for you last month. We had the 9 of air or the 9 of swords. Put that up so you can see. The 9 of air in reverse. That would be the 9 of swords. So with the 9 of swords in reverse, it could be that last month you were coming out of a funk. Maybe you were dealing with some anxiety, dealing with some depression, and it's almost like the polar bears coming out from hibernation, right? Like you're starting to kind of wake up and rouse after having a time of just feeling defeated mentally, feeling mentally tired. Maybe you weren't sleeping well. Maybe you were starting to put some things into practice that were going to really just kind of support you during a difficult time. And so last month, based off this card, what I'm seeing is that for those who are struggling with rest, whether that's like mental or spiritual unrest, physical unrest, it feels like you are turning a page, so to speak, or at least that's what you were focusing on, is how can I get myself back? How can I get more grounded in my body? How can I center in my joy? How can I, as I am waking up, right, into this new day, what supports do I need to have in place? Or what supports can I reach and lean on to kind of aid me into this month ahead? Okay, so if that's resonating with you, then you know that you're definitely in the right place. So let's see what's coming toward you for the month ahead. We have the Curan curandera. I always get this all tongue-tied. Curandera of fire. This would be the queen. I'm sorry, the king of fire, right? And you have this also in reverse. I heard another reader say that when the court cards are in reverse, this is speaking about the inner qualities rather than like this quote unquote negative qualities, right? And so for the month ahead, I feel like what you are focusing on is what is lighting you up, right? Especially if you are someone who's a leader of any sort, if someone who is like a matriarch, a patriarch, a teacher, some sort of leader, maybe with the previous month, like I said, you've been rousing and kind of coming out of a stupor, or coming out of a fog, or coming out of a difficult time. It doesn't feel like you're trying to rush right back out and like assume the position, so to speak, of how you acted before, how you led before, how you were doing things the way that you used to do them. Instead, it feels like you are turning inward. It seems like you are embodying practices and behaviors that are going to be supportive for your nourishing, for your creativity. It feels like you are leading yourself, right? It seems like you are coaching yourself. It seems like you are really just tending to you and the parts of you that really need self motivation, right? There's a self motivating factor. This feels like you are utilizing the skills and the tools that you have learned and maybe even utilized with other people or, taught other people. It feels like you are actually saying, wait a minute, how can I use this for myself? How can I benefit from what I have freely given to others? How can I eat from my own crop, so to speak? Like that's what's also happening. And I'll also say, like, there may also be some things that are triggered in you that because as you are like trying to navigate some of the mental things that were going on, some of the fatigue, some of all those things, like sometimes that can stir up places of discontent in you. And so, when you're not fully rested or when you're trying to practice new things, sometimes there's a frustration of like, oh, I'm not getting this right. Oh, I'm not. Um, there's impatience that you can have with yourself that can sometimes affect other people, that can sometimes be projected onto others. And so I encourage you, chapter one, to really be in touch with how you can um, nourish yourself with the fire, right? Fire purifies, it gives clarity to a thing. And so, as you are continuing taking care of and tending to yourself, it doesn't mean, of course, that you may not be able to turn it off in other places, right? Like your business and other roles and functions that you have to show up in. But this feels like a month where you are going to be tried by fire. And you're going to be responsible for how you react to that. Are you going to use your tools? Are you going to use your spiritual technologies? Or are you going to use your rage that is not helpful to you, but is actually harmful to you and to others? There's a way to be in good relationship with your rage. And so maybe this month is you getting acquainted with those feelings that you have deep down inside that are angry, that are vengeful. And rather than projecting and making it about other people, what would happen then if you turn inward and say, what is actually happening? What is the trigger about? What is this saying about me? What is it not saying about me that I'm making assumptions about? How can I be curious about the feelings? So, yeah, sometimes the Queen of Wands wants to burn it all down. So, what if instead of doing that, you, in the month ahead, use that flame in you to illuminate and open up pathways inside of you that you didn't know were there or had been long forgotten? Let that take you down this path of self knowing. All right, my chapter ones, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. All right, my chapter twos, welcome to your reading. I'm going to start by pulling a card that's going to represent the month that you are coming out of, and let's see what you're headed into. This card is going to tell us if you're in the right place. So if it resonates with you, then you know you've chosen the right chapter. Let's go ahead and get into it. For the previous month, you had the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords. I love that. So last month you were busy. You were busy. You were making a lot of decisions, having lots of conversations, yapping. There was a lot of yapping. Maybe you were traveling as well. It just feels like you were moving through things with, for some of you, with a lot of clarity. So you understood your next steps, you understood yourself, and you understood situations. For others, you were just kind of moving just to move. Both of those energies, I feel pretty strongly. But this was about moving forward and being sure either way. Whether you had a plan and a strategy to move forward, or if you were one who didn't know intellectually what to do, but still something you that claircognizance was coming through, and it was like, I don't have this written down anywhere, but I just know what to say. I just know what to do, and I'm just going to follow that intuitive nudge. Either one of those applies here and what's going on in the last month for you. It's all about you and your decisiveness. This was a month where you were like, yeah, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to go on the adventure. I'm not telling myself no. I'm just going to go. Let's see what's coming up for you in the month ahead. We have the Queen of Cups, Madre of Water. Beautiful. This feels like a month for you to really get more into your spirit, mind, body, to get more into your spirit intuition. This month ahead for you uh, shows you being more caring and more nourishing and more sweet with yourself and with others. It could also mean that the things that you initiated and started last month, that you in the month ahead are uh, caring for with just this loving, nourishing attention, that you are now developing that in the month ahead. It feels like you are being more honest about what happens and what comes up for you emotionally, and more clear on how you differ from others. And it doesn't feel or seem scary or threatening to you, but you're holding your own now. You may find that in this month ahead that people are wanting to come to you for advice, and that you are very willing to share what you know. You might find that you are doing things like hosting friends and throwing parties or doing something nice for folks. There's just the energy for that is there. There's a lot of uh, maternal birthing energy here. There's a lot of spiritual activations that I even see for you as well, chapter 2. And so I would say lean into that more. Don't rest on what you know intellectually only. This is the time for you to embody the spirit as well. So things like meditation, prayer, rituals, things that connect you to your ancestral team or your spirit team, to God, your higher self. These are the types of practices that are going to support you in the month ahead. It doesn't have to be strenuous, but I am hearing it must be consistent. So what can you consistently do that is going to be a practice of spiritual and self-devotion? All right, my loves, I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey, my chapter 3s, welcome to your reading. We're going to get started I'm going to pull a card that's going to tell me about your previous month. That's to kind of like check and see, to kind of verify with you that you've chosen the right chapter. And then we're going to look into what I see coming toward you in the month ahead. So let's start with that. For the previous month, we have the Six of Earth, or the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse kind of lets me know that maybe last month you were in a state of really needing to receive care, really needing to uh, ask for help. And sometimes we can have judgments about that. Sometimes we can have judgments about what that means, about us, about our reality, about our worth, about our situations. For some people, maybe you've been really struggling with money. And if you hear my little girl screaming in the background, I actually kind of hope that you can, because um, that could be the state of where you felt last month, that you were just crying out, crying out, crying out, and wondering, like, do people even hear me? Are people just annoyed when I cry? Yeah. I don't know why it feels like maybe for some of you, financial backing fell through, things that you were hoping for, like maybe job opportunities fell through. Things just didn't line up the way that they need to. It seems like financially things were stacked against you. And for others of you, last month was a month where some of you overgave. You gave way more than you had available. And we don't have to judge why that is, but that's something that was happening. So maybe you just don't have energy right now. You find yourself at this time watching this, listening to this, and being like, yeah, I don't have anything else that I care to give because I am now in a place of depletion, right? So let's see what is in store for you for the month ahead. We have the oh Lord, you have this as the King of Cups in reverse. What I would say to you, this is a month for you to really kind of be in your feelings, boo. Things that typically don't bother you, this is the time to, not to say let them bother you, but to really feel the impact. Things that you just get over, right? Things that you just let slide. This is the month where it's okay not to let them slide. It's okay to feel them. In fact, you must, because if you are in a state of feeling stuck and frustrated because you have maybe been in a cycle of not having enough, of feeling maybe pressured or shamed, then the King of Cups in reverse, the medicine for that is to feel deeply, to be present to the pattern, to understand its function so that you can begin to choose a new direction. But change comes after awareness. And so even when you say, I'm so tired of this, I'm so tired of this, there's still something that is needing to be felt beneath the surface. So the King of Cups typically is one who isn't rocked, who isn't affected by a lot, able to kind of stay up spiritually, right? And spirit is, I'm not saying crash out, but I'm also saying don't be afraid of the crash out. If it means, like my little baby in the background, crying when you hurt, if it means screaming in a pillow, if it means calling up a friend and being like, hey, do you have capacity? Because I really just need to vent and I need like 10 minutes to just go at it. Right? If it means like balling your fists up and shaking your whole body until it just helps you calm. Water helps soften earth. And so wherever you have been hardened by last month's events and circumstances, the King of Cups is offering fresh water. Water to break up what's been hard, to make mud of the earth so that it's pliable, to remind you that your circumstances that seem so fixed, the patterns that feel so fixed, even the financial things that feel so fixed, they can be transformed too. They can be pliable. So as you move through the month ahead, chapter 3, know that when big emotions show up, that is the divine trying to make you pliable, asking you to be soft with yourself and the emotions. That it's okay to be emotional and to be needy because you have needs. That's what the 6 of Earth was saying anyway. These are unmet needs, expectations that were not fulfilled. And this is saying, water them still. Water yourself still. All right, my chapter 3s. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful month ahead, and we'll see you in the next video.